Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your cannabis business podcast. Today, we're going to dive into another pitch deck. To help us do that is Katrina Glogowski. She's a local attorney and angel investor. Thanks for being back on the line with us. So, Enduritek, life shelf extension technology.
Josh, I got to say, what a unique logo. Way to stand out from the crowd.
Logos aren't part of the 7 tips to an engaging pitch deck, unfortunately. Otherwise, they may get more points for whatever that is. These 7 tips to an engaging pitch deck are: identify business plan goals, know your audience. Number 3 is understand the market. Number 4 is identify needs and roadblocks. 5 is to know what sets the business apart. 6 is to introduce the team and product. And 7 is create a summary. So what is Enduritek Q bottle technology? It's a biomolecular pathogen barrier for all liquids. Their proprietary quartz nanochips are easily mixed into existing adhesive, inks, and printer substrates. And when applied to the outside of the bottle, the liquids contained within them become structured through hydrogen covalent bonding at a 52-degree angle. And so when this occurs, a shield is created that resists pathogens and creates a larger increase in shelf life.
Josh, I didn't understand a single word of that. Is this a coating that prevents contamination? That's all they need to say if that's what it is.
I had a hard enough time reading it. Luckily, I've spoke to the individual. He sent me out a bottle, and essentially my test is going to be using oranges. I'm going to grab enough oranges to make 3 beverages with. The first beverage I'm going to drink after hard work of squeezing all those oranges. And then the second 2 are going to be capped off for 5 weeks. I'm going to drink one of those each week for 5 weeks until it's sour. And then the other one I'm supposed to drink, and it's going to be fresh. Fresh is day 1. So that's essentially what this is. You put this mixture on the outside of any bottle or can or tin or whatever your liquid is. This creates a barrier, and that barrier will block any pathogen that will damage the cells. So this will keep any beverage, whether it's cannabis, beer, or cola, whatever the beverage is, this will increase the shelf life.
Isn't it called glass and aluminum? Am I missing something? So if I buy a bottle of Coca-Cola in a glass with a cap on it, I'm now supposed to apply this product to the outside of the glass bottle of Coca-Cola. Do I understand?
Yeah, so to clarify, the application would go on the outside of any container holding a beverage. So if that's glass or aluminum, whatever your beverage has, this would be put on through machines. Obviously not hand done. This is just a sample size. And so once this is placed on the outside, it's able to get into the container regardless of what that container is, aluminum, glass, or otherwise. And once it gets in, it creates that barrier and makes for a longer shelf life, apparently.
I'm excited to learn more.
Well, let's move on. So why Enduritek technology? So shrinkage is the term for wasted products. There's a lot of stuff thrown away. I don't really need to get into all of the details, but essentially there's probably $1 billion or more of product thrown out all the time, from, Coca-Cola to Budweiser to, name your cannabis product. So the target population is licensing this to any brand with a problem in shelf life for liquid products. So Anheuser-Busch, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these companies worldwide. So that's a pretty large target market.
That's one of our leafs here. I'm still questioning the product. I'm sure it will become more clear.
So the cost per unit, 0.0001 cent, is the cost.
That's nice. But if it's a spray-on coating, that kind of makes sense, Josh.
And I think they're going to charge 1 cent. So that's like 1,000% increase.
Mm-hmm.
So projected sales, 0.1 cent per unit. That's 1,000% licensing fee.
Investors love that. Look at that profit margin. Amazing. Total addressable market. This is very interesting for an investor.
So break-even analysis is pretty straightforward. One license and you've breaking even. So
I I like this slide. One major, big time ROI. Nice and simple. Get one contract and you're a millionaire.
I'm going to move on to the SWOT analysis. It's affordable. That's the strength, chemical free, all natural nanoquartz chips. It's proprietary. It doesn't degrade over time. May need FDA approval. So on the list of weaknesses, obviously FDA approval is not cheap. So go ahead.
I'm sorry, Josh. If it's on the outside of a bottle, why does it need FDA approval?
That's why it says may need. I don't know. I don't think it would, but if it affects the product on the inside, then it may. I don't know.
I don't know that glass and aluminum cans need FDA approval. Maybe, again, Josh, maybe I'm misunderstanding their product.
So opportunities are licensing residuals in the billions, changing the way that the world packages liquids, and creating an immensely positive environmental and carbon windfall for the betterment of all creatures, plants, and humans.
Excellent social impact. Great.
Some of the threats is that the competition may arise at some point in the future, but at this time, a type of technology with this application does not exist. So that creates some future opportunities, creating a bottle for direct to consumer sale or licensing the application, licensing the container manufacturer for fruits, vegetables, other active solids, creating a water
That would
filter.
be impressive, Josh. If they can have a coating on an apple or an avocado of some sort that might prevent waste or rot or contamination, that is a very interesting product.
So I have seen the test that the founder has done on apples and dates, and it doesn't rot. It kind of looks like Super Size Me at the very end when the McDonald's products have been sitting out for months or a year or whatever, and they haven't changed. It's kind of like what it looks like. Some of the stuff has dehydrated over time, but it hasn't molded or gone rotten or anything. So it's a little freaky.
Did anyone eat the apple after this test?
I think the founder did.
That might be why they need FDA approval then, if they're going to coat something like an apple as opposed to a bottle of Coca-Cola. That makes sense.
Sure. That's future opportunities for now. Who knows? I don't know if it needs it or not, but there are a lot of other opportunities like creating a water filter brand, creating water brand licensing, food nutrient for farmers to grow with the help of shelf lives.
Interesting. I thought this was a coating on the outside of glass and or cans, but I think this is also future opportunities slide. So it's good.
So that brings us to the end. Did it identify the business plan goals?
I didn't see launch date. I didn't see sales. I didn't see very much of a business goal at all. I didn't see much of a plan. I think that, Josh, this is an early stage company, maybe looking for some friends and family funding as opposed to angel funding.
I would agree with that. I'm not sure that they identified the business plan goals. I think they listed out some things that they're doing, but not necessarily milestones or goals. In terms of knowing the audience, they definitely touched on the revenue potential. It did kind of they have a target population, but it didn't meet your needs.
It did not meet the needs of an investor. And I think their strongest knowing their audience qualification was the waste. They've identified a problem, waste, and they're trying to solve it. So I'm going to give them a half leaf there, Josh.
Okay. And in terms of understanding the market?
I don't understand this market. So I'm going to say he definitely addressed the market. And talking about Budweiser, talking about the fruits, I'm going to give him a half there because he didn't convince me. But at the same time, I don't know this market at all. So he might be right.
How about number 4? Did he identify needs and roadblocks?
Need, yes, with the waste, and that's good. Roadblocks, he did mention the FDA. Yeah, I'll give him number 4.
What about knowing what sets the business apart?
He says he's the only one. If that sets the business apart, then that's true.
And introducing the team and product, probably give him a half. Definitely introduce the product to a certain degree, but no team.
Uh, I still don't understand the product. So you and I are going to diverge on our opinion there, Josh.
Okay, I'll give that one to you. And then creating a summary or call to action.
I did not see a summary. I did not see a call to action. I didn't see an ask. I didn't see a raise. I didn't see anything at all like that. Again, Josh, I really think that his target audience is friends and family more so than investors.
This seems more like an informative PDF than it does for a pitch deck, so I would agree with you on that one. Decent start, but not ready for investors quite yet.
Not outside investors, no.
Having said that, he's still got a third of a leaf.
3 out of 7.
3 out of 7. We got 3 out of 7. That's a third of a leaf. That's not bad for a very early deck for an information, friends and family loan seed round. Interesting product if all you do is coat your beverage can or bottle, as well as agricultural product to extend the shelf life. I will be doing my own tests and report back in about 6 weeks.
I will also conclude by saying, from an investor's perspective, he has a product. You have it there in your hand. It exists. We can test it. Investors like that.
And test we shall. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.